Hey everyone, welcome to WSOU. I'm Angelique, and today I'm joined by Cameron and Joshua of the band These Streets. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing awesome.
All right. So I'm gonna jump right into the questions. I believe it was early last year you guys signed with Upstate Records. Is there any particular reason you guys choose them over everyone else?
Well, right before then, we had inked a deal with what's called Blood Blast Distribution, and they basically handle all digital distribution for a lot of bands. But we still want to do something physical, and I got connected to Mario from Upstate with from our friend Nick, who plays for a band called Nailed Down, and we connected, and he understood what my goals were, and we both were on the same page, and it just worked out really well.
All right, awesome. I love when things work out for artists. I think that's the best thing. And then right after you guys signed with Upstate, you guys dropped a album in the middle of the pandemic. You guys dropped Expect the Worst last August. Was like, what was going through your minds when you chose that moment to release it?
Honestly, it was like a lot of bands had like I know so many bands who still haven't put out a record that they've been working on since like 2019 because of the pandemic. And I understand in some cases because there's big labels involved and a lot of money involved. But for us, it wasn't even like that. We had been working on Expect the Worst since I think early 2018. And we felt it was best to not hold off on it for the sake of a pandemic. We thought it was this might have been the most important time to release music for people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially what with like the political climate and everything that was going on in the country. There's just a lot of disarray and a lot of people just not having a good time with their lives. And what better time to put out music to help people than when it's needed most.
Yeah, dude, I definitely felt that. I listened to the album. I've loved every track. I don't know if I can put every track on SOU, but it's definitely like staying in my personal playlist and hard drives and stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, and so then now it's last month as we're recording on October 1st, but you guys released the EP Roll the Dice on September 17th. Can you tell me a little bit more about the songwriting process and the creative process for this album?
Josh, what do you think?
We just rolled the dice, to be 100 with you. Like we just went up in there and said, we're just gonna make music that we like. And I was in These Streets when These Streets first started. I actually just joined on this last album again. I took a break, work on my career and stuff, and Cam hit me up. He's like, hey, I know you still writing music. Do you want to come and play bass on these songs? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got any riffs? What are you doing with music nowadays? Blah, blah, blah. So we linked up and, we just made a record and rolled the dice on it, just had fun and just vibed out. That was really what it was for me. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of these songs have been works in progresses when we were doing Expect the Worst, but we know we didn't want to put out a full length because that actually would be a mistake to put that out during a pandemic. We wouldn't be able to tour on it, but so I just decided to split it up into two EPs, and yeah, we just worked on these songs casually throughout the midst of the pandemic, and this was the result.
Yeah. So I've been in contact with Mario, who you mentioned earlier, who's part of the reason why you guys joined Upstate, and he told me that UCAM self-produced and engineered the entire EP. Did you choose to do that because like we are in the middle of a pandemic, or was it something else?
No, prior to this, mainly we've always worked with a guy named Cody Fuentes who does all the Spites stuff. I don't know if you're aware of Spite, but I've been engineering out of his studio for years too, and I felt like my abilities had finally come to the point where I could take care of this myself, and we can, just like really just all get in the room and it only be the band and it only be the vibe that we create, as opposed to having an engineer who's outside of it, who doesn't understand who doesn't even have the bandwidth to understand what's going on with all of us personally, we all can just get in there and I can, create a vibe for everyone that we can all work together. And I think it worked out really well. But that's mainly it. It wasn't necessarily a money thing or have anything to do with the pandemic. More about my confidence and ability to create a product that I was willing to release.
Awesome. Like I said, I've loved the EP and I've loved the record. And so like to me, I major in sound production. So like to see artists actually like engineering and producing their own work is always super cool for me. And
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
I will say that Cody Fuentes did engineer the drums on the record. That was the only session I wasn't in charge of.
All right. Well, what's that? 4 out of 5 parts is still not that bad, right?
Yeah, not bad at all.
And so you guys dropped the single from the album in August, and it was "Take the Risk," which is actually the second track. Is there any reason you guys chose "Take the Risk" over something like "Dog Days" or "Last Breath"?
I feel like I think me and Josh are on the same page with this. We definitely feel like "Last Breath" deserves a real music video treatment. That's like the one song on the record that's like a more of a metal song than anything. But if we just wanted to put something out very quickly, and we just jumbled a bunch of live footage together, threw it out there, and just did it really DIY, and just the one big thing about us is that we're not so serious on how we put things out, or we don't I don't know, we don't take ourselves very seriously at all because we just like to keep the band casual. I mean, we all have real jobs aside from this, and we're not like touring 10 months out of the year. So we just like to have fun with it, really. So there's just like I don't really have an answer to that question because we just said what song are we gonna do? All right, let's do that. But I think "Take the Risk" strongly. The lyrics encompass what the whole record's about. Just about fools.
Oh man.
So lyrically, it pretty much encompasses the entire record for you. If you can't get into "Take the Risk," you're probably gonna like the rest.
Yeah, so "Take the Risk" was actually not my favorite on the record, but I really enjoyed "Dog Days." I think for me, it's "Dog Days" it would be my number one.
There you
Uh,
go.
could you guys tell me more about like what you went through when writing it and like how you came to that point where you were like, this is the version we want out?
For "Dog Days,"
Yeah.
that song in particular, I think I wrote the lyrics on the way to the studio to track it. I don't think I had lyrics up until that day. I kind of just winged it, which is usually how my brain operates. Like I spend so much time writing the music and doing the music part of it and like a lot of other stuff for the band that it's like when it comes to lyrics, they come to me when they come to me. And if they don't, they don't. So I could have easily gone to the studio the day and had just nothing and been like, well, this was a waste of money. But no, I think they came to me either the night before or on the way there. I was working on them. I think that was the last song lyrically I wrote for the record. Uh, and it's about what is that damn song about? Oh, it's about just like everyone having their moment and everyone having their time to shine. You know, a lot of people take their moment for granted and they don't understand that like every dog has its day and you'll lose it. You know what I mean? So I've always felt like I'm on a mission with this band to just like secure that moment. And for me, I don't think we've ever actually, I don't know. I can't say that we've had our moment yet, but I can also just bring up a lot of good times too. But it's just about, not taking anything for granted mainly.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like I said, it was definitely my favorite one. Like I think I've listened to the whole album like maybe 4 or 5 times today alone.
Height.
Is like, so I was like, can you imagine like 5'3" kid walking down the street blasting some hardcore out of some AirPods? It probably wasn't the best sight, but I really loved it. And "Dog Days" is like was on repeat probably the most.
I appreciate that.
And so while I was listening to it, like obviously with the hardcore scene, it's like so like wide, especially like if you go from like the Jersey hardcore scene to the DC hardcore scene to like the Northern California scene. Could you guys tell me about like who your inspirations are, both like lyrically and vocally, and like with you, Josh, playing the bass, like who do you guys look up to, and like how do you incorporate that into your songwriting and sound?
I mean, for me, like if I'm talking about lyrics, it's like 50 Cent, you know, like I grew up on rap. I grew up on like punk music. To be specific, I couldn't do it. I think us just coming together as a band, and me and Cameron have been writing music since we were 15 together. I think when we get in the groove of things, I don't really take many influences from anything, just of the vibe that me and Cam had created previously. So that's my personal opinion. I know Cam has a long list of influences um, when he's writing his stuff.
Yeah, one thing like that when you're starting a band is like, can you guys hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, one thing it's like when you're starting a band, a lot of people start a band and they just try to make like this super baby of like all their favorite bands. You know, they'll say that it's kind of like this put together. You know, which is I mean, when we started, we were definitely derivative of a couple bands that we were inspired by at that time and place in our lives. But I don't think we've ever made it a point to like really take anything from anybody more or less just to emulate, you know, feelings we get from those bands, if that makes any sense. You know,
Yeah,
like my influences wouldn't even make sense for the band. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't. Like my favorite band in the entire world is Oasis, but that's just me. You know, in terms of like performance and vocals and stuff like that, I'm like a real big Slipknot fan. But also that I don't really think that shines through on our music either. We really try to do our own thing truly, and not take anything from anybody else in the process. We're kind of like you know, we've always found ourselves in like a gray area of being described as well. Like I've not heard two people say the same thing of what they think we sound like, which is badass to me. You know, it really does show that we're just like derivative of our own selves more than anything.
yeah, I've definitely noticed that. So we do specialty shows on SOU. We have like local hardcore specialty show, and then we also have the punk specialty show, which I host. And me and the host of the punk show, Liam, we were going back and forth trying to figure out what show we should have you guys on. And I like to think that I won that argument. I know, like closer to the start of this interview, you guys said that you work regular jobs and like 9 to 5, and then you guys do this a little bit as a side project. But when I was looking through your stuff and like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all this cool stuff, I saw that you guys, along with the dudes from Lionheart, started the Northern Alliance Festival.
Uh-huh.
What? Why start a festival? What's up with that?
You know, there's a lot of fests that go on in the United States, especially for hardcore, like Sound and Fury in Los Angeles. Then you got This Is Hardcore in Philly, and you know all the ones here and in between. Um, there's just never been a successful one in Northern California. A lot of people have tried, but it's never really been a thing. So we got an offer to book Madball, and I was like, all right, well, let's make a fest out of it. And me and Ricky from Lionheart just spent months and months and months putting together a festival and a lineup. And, you know, we really tried to make it as professional as possible. We had laminates, we had staff, everything like that. Yeah, everything you need for a festival, but we kept it extremely DIY, which is really the goal. Is we want to do it all ourselves. We don't want to have corporate sponsors. We don't have anything like that. We just want to make a great festival for the kids by the kids, even though I'm obviously not a kid. But um, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So you know, we got a bunch of headliners, we got a bunch of great bands. We had a metal day and a hardcore day. I think we're gonna mix those next year. Starting next year, we're just gonna have just it mixed the entire time. That way, it's not so segregated. But yeah, we just wanted to build a festival with great headliners, and then put on every local band we think was, you know, really rocking and wasn't getting the love that the entire scene could probably give them.
yeah, I
That was
love
the why.
that. 'Cause
That was the why behind that.
is the why. And so I think I was not able to find a solid date on when you guys started the Northern Alliance Festival. So has it been what, 2, 3 years now, or even longer?
Ricky's done it by himself a couple times, or at least once, I think. We called a show the Northern Lions show. I don't even think these streets is on it, but you know, it was this year that we really decided we wanted to make it a annual thing.
Awesome. I'm gonna buy a ticket to next year. I'll be there.
See you there.
All right. And so obviously festivals, that's a pretty solid tour date, but you guys signed with Stronger Bookings who operate out of Europe. And so does that mean we're seeing European tour dates soon?
We'll see. You know, you never know what the future has in store. It's kind of difficult to get over there right now, but tours are getting announced left and right, and I think we're trying to figure it out. That way we can get out there. We definitely do want to go. Me and Josh have both been to Europe before on tour, so we definitely do want to get back out there fully.
All right. And speaking of tour dates, we also have an announced show, the Upstate Records Friends and Family Showcase, November 20th, Brooklyn Monarch. So
Yep.
you guys will be coming out to the Northeast and killing it. You want to any set list sneak peeks or anything like that?
I do think we're gonna play the entire EP.
Awesome.
So if you go, Dog Days will be played. I'm almost positive, and we are playing a show the day before as well, in some strange town name. I forget what it's called.
Was it in Mass?
Yeah, it's somewhere in Western Massachusetts. Well, we're playing a show the day before with a band called Wisdom and War from Massachusetts. So I'm excited for that too. We're just trying to get out there, play a couple dates, and then come home, take a little vacay.
All right. Well, listen, some people believe that like the Northeast hardcore scene is like a little bit dead, but I promise you it's not. It's still rocking. It's a little more underground now than ever, but it's still alive, I promise.
Oh, definitely. We're excited to be there. I just got off a run with Madball myself right now because I play for Lionheart as well. But I'm very excited to be out there.
Awesome. And so the final question that I have prepared, it's a little jokey, right?
Okay.
It's not what you think it's gonna be. If the band wasn't called These Streets, what would you be called?
Estas calles.
That's just These Streets in Spanish.
In Spanish, yeah.
I don't know. Did we have any other names for the band before we came up with These Streets?
We had a ton of them. I don't even remember though.
Yeah, I don't know. If you want to, I don't.
We can make one up right now, though.
Yeah, let's make one up. Family friendly, Josh. Bro, all the smoke.
All the smoke.
Or who won't it?
Who won't it?
What would you name These Streets if These Streets wasn't These Streets?
Oh man, I wasn't expecting you to turn it back around.
Gotta flip it on you, you know. What would you know?
Oh man. Dude, I don't know.
I'd probably go with like POD or something, you know. Something like it.
Yeah, we're Limp Bizkit, dude.
Or a Limp Bizkit cover band.
Just like spell biscuit out the way it's supposed to be spelled.
Yes. Yeah. But spell limp wrong.
Like it's just a soft biscuit. It's just the biscuit.
It's just like yeah. Hecka Soft Biscuit would be our new name.
Yeah.
Soft biscuit, Hecka Soft Biscuit. That's I mean, who knows? It could work. Someone's probably gonna watch this interview.
Hey, I've seen a lot of people get away with having awful band names. So
yeah,
like Limp Bizkit. So it could work.
Real quick, gotta plug that These Streets hot sauce, the most fire. You know what I mean? Goes good on everything. Goes good on Mexican food, Chinese food, American food. You know, These Streets hot sauce. Get yours at thesestreets.co.
Dude, I love hot sauce.
Yeah, we did put out our own hot sauce. I don't think we have any more of them though. So that was
we got it. We got it.
You still got some?
We got it.
Oh, so you're holding out on me, bruh.
Hit me up I got you.
All right.
Well, now I want to know why you guys decided to make a hot sauce.
Honestly, my boy Big Jake, shout out Big Jake Sauce. He has a hot sauce company, and he did a collab with another band. I forget what band it was, but I was like, we could do a way cooler collab than that. And so he let me pick out the flavor profile, exactly what it was going to be, and it came out amazing. It's honestly it's like ridiculously good.
Yeah, Josh just poured some right into his mouth. You good there, buddy?
It's great. It's also called death sauce, so you might get the picture of what I'm going through right now.
Why would you do that?
Because I got to plug the sauce. It's great.
We're trying to turn this into hot ones.
Hey, I was watching an episode of that today. I think hot ones would be better if they had more like, metal and like hardcore and punk bands on.
Yeah, but then people would
You're
get through
onto
the
something.
sauces hella easily. You know what I mean?
That, you know what? That might be right.
Like, why throw
Toughest-
me on there who would just blast through these wings? Like, no problem, answer all the questions. Also, he would like literally probably lose his mind trying to get information on these streets as opposed to like, I don't know, Taylor Swift or whoever the hell would be on that.
He does some really deep dives. I was struggling. I was like 10th page back on Google trying to find literally anything on you guys. And hey, I had fun doing it. I love doing this interview. So,
Hell yeah. We're happy to be here.
hey, you want to give us an exclusive so that way when people do go 10 pages back, they'll find WSOU?
Exclusive on what? What do you
Anything.
want to know?
What do you want to tell me?
Let me think. What do we got, Josh?
We got a lot.
Oh,
we got some.
I think we're gonna start writing a full length like next week. I don't know. I there's no label telling me not to say anything, so I can say whatever I want. We're gonna start writing a record next week. We're gonna do another hot sauce in December. I like turtles.
I also like turtles. Josh, you have anything you want to say?
My mouth is hot.
Yeah, you need some milk, bro.
He needs some milk.
I want to shake his hand.
Yeah, I'd like to thank both of you guys for joining me today. It's been awesome. It's been like an immense pleasure. Really appreciate you guys for joining us. Like I said earlier, anything final words, final thoughts?
Check out These Streets, Roll the Dice on Upstate Records, and we'll be on the East Coast very soon.
November
and we
20th.
appreciate you so much for having us. You are so awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for tuning into WSOU. Later.